ladies and gentlemen, we have Marty McCoy and Jimmy Tolland from the band The Lonely Ones. Welcome, guys.
Hey,
how are you? Thanks for hanging out with us today. Good to see you guys. And yeah, you're right, Rich. They have great hair. Look at that, sons of bitches. You know, I do have to say that with these guys, man, these guys are badass.
Yeah.
Man, we've been listening to your music and for like the past week now and digging it. You guys are you guys are badass. How'd you get so badass from Ohio?
I think it's the good hair.
That explains a lot.
It does.
I used to have family in Ohio. There was nothing badass. I was in Warren and Youngstown all the time, and there was nothing badass going on there. You guys. Are you guys from there? Like near there, or?
Jimmy's from Washington, and I'm from West Virginia.
Virginia.
We're actually from Ohio. We just both live here.
Oh! So you live there now?
Yeah.
Oh, because that's where all the rock and rollers go. What the hell? How'd you guys end up in Ohio?
Columbus is a nice city.
Really?
Being from West Virginia, the very first time I rolled my country bumpkin ass into town, I was like, saw some skyscrapers, and I was like, this is where it's at. I'm staying here.
No kidding. Wow. Does it have anything to do with, is there a music scene, or is it just the people? What is it?
Oh,
There's
it's a huge
great music scene. It's beautiful here.
Yeah?
For like a touring band, it's awesome because you can go to like the entire East Coast or the Midwest in 7-10 hours?
Yeah, at the most. Yeah, there's a major city in every direction. We have Rock on the Range, Sonic Temple now, which is 70,000 people. One of the biggest rock festivals in the country. 99.7 The Blitz, which is a big rock station here. And like I said, it's a central hub. Anywhere you go, there's a major city: Cleveland, Akron, Dayton.
Chicago, Detroit, New York. They're all within striking distance.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay, so you guys. All right, so you guys have an interesting story. You're kind of the Lonely Ones is kind of a new band, but you guys aren't really a new band. It's you formed out of Bobaflex.
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. But I would say the Lonely Ones is a fresh, hip, young band.
That's what everybody's saying, according to what I heard.
Well, you can tell from looking at us, we're part of the hip generation, and we've been saying that.
I mean, radio killed us. We're only 30. We just look terrible.
We keep hearing, where did these guys come from? They came out of nowhere, and I don't correct anybody on that shit.
No.
So
I let him think that. I let him think I'm 21 too.
But you guys started originally. I don't know. It's not the same lineup, but in the early 90s. Is that correct?
Early 2000s, about 2001 was when it became serious. And myself, Tommy the drummer, and my brother were all original members. And Jimmy was in the band, 5 years? Jimmy, 6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I joined in 2014.
Yeah, and my brother wanted to, it was time for him. He felt it was more important to not miss any more, Christmases or volleyball meets or anything like that. And so he decided to be home with family, and the rest of us thought, we're not done, and this is too much fun, and we don't have any kids, and so let's continue to do this. And so far, so good. People are digging it.
Well, the music is, I mean, I love it, and to me, the best thing about it is that probably 80% of what you hear today is so cookie cutter. But you guys are far and away. I think you guys have a niche that a lot of even heavier bands don't have, because a lot of it is very similar. But you guys have a kind of a different approach to it, which really makes it good.
We're like that one cookie that the little kid made that don't really fit into anything. You let it make it, but it's not going to taste good.
So what was that? It's interesting with your brother leaving. I mean, because that's the whole goal of a rock and roll band. You want to travel and tour and kick ass and meet girls, and so. And I'm sure I'm sure you guys, as brothers especially, really wanted to. It was probably some kind of childhood dream, I'm assuming, that you guys, worked on together. So
yeah, but I think that he was saying that his brother left because he was spending more time with his family, so he wasn't like looking around for girls anymore, right?
No, he got his fill of that long ago. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was definitely a childhood dream. And then we had a wonderful time. We had a great time. I mean, it was some of the most fun I've ever had in my life. And he just felt like, you know, it was time to. We'd noticed a change in him, you know, and he wanted to be home more, and like it was really pulling at his heartstrings and stuff when he was missing, you know, piano recitals and things like that, which is something we respected. It was devastating because it was devastating. It was our life. But we respected it, and it was very scary at first. But then when we started doing this new thing, it became exciting, and the unknown was cool, and people actually started liking it, which you never know if that's going to happen or not.
Sure.
Off to a good start. And then the pandemic happened, so it's like we've overcome some things early on in the Lonely One's career. Where, you know, had some hurdles.
Absolutely.
We started out screwed over on that front.
Well, yeah. How you guys? Everybody's good. Everybody's healthy. You guys are all right. Everybody's good in your world.
Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear that. But all right. But speaking of the pandemic, hopefully we're just about out of this thing, and you guys just announced some tour dates.
We did.
Nice. And starting when? This summer, I believe it was?
Yeah, August 19th is the first one. We got 15 dates announced so far.
Nice.
And I think we're expecting another probably 15 before the end of the year, give or take. But yeah, you know, we've been kind of patiently waiting, following everybody's advice and this and that. We've moved some of these tour dates back a year at this point.
Right.
And finally, you know, it looks like the vaccine's going to be out to everybody in spring. So we figured give it a few more months just to be safe, and let's go.
And have you guys started planning anything? Are you going to do anything differently as you're being, you know, trying to be cautious, or are you hoping by that point that things will just be back to normal and you can just, you know, do what you normally do?
Whatever needs to be done, we'll do. But at this point, you know, it's too far out for us to make hard plans on any restriction or lack thereof. I know some of the shows are currently half capacity, but, you know, come June, things might change and they can open up to full capacity. It's still 5 and change months away.
Right.
We couldn't say for sure. It'd be irresponsible for us to do that.
Now, what do you guys what do you find more difficult, writing and recording, or when you do like videos for the songs?
I would say I love it all. Like it's a creative outlet all the way around. We do the videos that we do. We produce them ourselves. We got some guys that we work with that we like a lot. But we come up with the concepts, and we're like Jimmy and I are the control freaks of the group. So our hands are all over everything. But I think that's one of the, like, it's different transitions, but they're all equally as fun. You're in the studios, you're in transition brain, and you're work. And then as soon as you're done with that, it's time to do these videos. And so Jimmy and I are in the editing process, and then it's time to go play live. So it's all different kind of stages, but they're all equally as fun. I couldn't pick one. I would say, nope, can't pick one. Nope.
Do you guys get input on, like, so the video that you have out there for, what is it, Eternal Sadness, that video, how much input do you get in the direction of that?
100%.
Yeah, I directed that one 100%. Cut the hole in the mattress myself and everything.
So I have a question then. So you're the guy I got to ask. All right, I think the video is great.
The video scared the hell out of me.
The video was creepy. It was awesome. The song is great. But my question to you is, at the end, towards the end, how did that guy go from being the scariest guy I've seen on television to Dancing with the Stars for like the last 30 seconds? What was up with that?
He's a friend of mine from high school. He should have went to LA. In the video, he was like, "How do you want me to act?" I was like, "Just be yourself." That's what he did on screen.
Come on, that's what that guy's really like?
Yeah. And so the concept was that, he represents depression, and, the person's constantly, it never goes away. You have good days, you have bad days, but it's always there in the background. And so that dance was kind of like you're always dancing with depression, and sometimes it leads and sometimes you lead. But I always wanted, like, I grew up in the 80s and early 90s. I always wanted a dance sequence in the video, so I just threw it in there. I worked it in some way.
It was a good video.
It is a great video. It really is a great video.
And you guys are great. Like, even before the show started, they were both talking about, a couple of the covers that you did for, like, Queen. These guys are just unbelievable.
That Flash
You're
cover
musicians.
is honestly, that was fantastic. That's
Jim.
just a great song. And you guys did "Hey You" also, right?
Yeah, with Boba Flex, yeah.
Right.
And Jimmy, I got to say, man, you did some nice bass lines on that version of "Hey You," man. That's a great version of that song, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. I didn't write those; they did. I just copied.
No, you were doing a little towards the end there, if I'm not mistaken. There was some things I don't recall Roger Waters doing.
Maybe just a little bit.
But that's what I like about these guys. They are very much talking about Flash. They are very. It sounds a lot like '70s Queen to me. I mean, you guys are a little heavier, but it's very much that vein when they were still a really heavy guitar band and they had the layers of guitars and the harmonies. You guys have fantastic harmonies.
That's, I think, what separates them from a lot of people. Some heavy music is just, the lead singer,
Yeah.
like, sometimes screaming, but the way it's layered and that is
Yeah.
just, it's great. I mean, and that Flash, for those of you who are listening and haven't seen this, you got to check out. It's on your site, right, on Lonely One's website.
Yeah.
Yep. Check out all the songs, but definitely you want to see the cover of Flash. It's so good. Such
It
a
really
great
is
song.
fantastic. And,
Yeah.
and again, it's the harmonies. It's the layer of the guitars. You guys do a super job. I hear a lot of. I'm assuming Queen obviously is a big influence, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
But
can't
I
go back
hear-
to haircuts.
I hear little like in Jake's guitar playing. I hear a little Tom Morello in there, and even some of your songs. I hear a little Extreme going on. Like and even some Kiss. Like you guys have a song called "The Lonely One." That thing is Kiss all over it, man.
Absolutely.
Like it has that whole arena rock pounding, boom, boom, boom. And that's as musical as I get right there.
That was the saddest thing I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
that's I'm very white.
I
That's
could
it.
barely look at his eyes. I'm like, avert your eyes.
I think you just made these guys quit music.
I want to know where you found your drummer, man. He's another one. He scares the hell out of me. He's got the makeup on. He looks like a mean motherfucker.
You had makeup on?
I played with him since I was 11 years old. He's from the same tiny little town in West Virginia that I'm from.
Wow.
Nice.
I could hit his house with a rock. He's the nicest dude in the world, but everyone says he looks scary. And I remember the day that he unpacked his drum kit. I was like 11, and he could play them as soon as he got them out of the box. And I could not play my guitar. So totally different story.
11.
Wow.
That's a good run there with the band, right?
Yeah,
You didn't
absolutely.
stay with the same
well,
guys.
that's a tough thing with a band. You I guess with any job, but I think more so with a band. Because you guys, it's not a normal 9-to-5 job. You guys have to coexist together. You see them more than your family, so it's really cool that you guys go back that far. And again, even your brother, you didn't have a Black Crowes or an Oasis thing or the Kinks going on where you break up, get back together, break up. So it's tough. It's a tough gig.
Well, if you're going to be in a band and you're going to tour, you got to be pretty cool. You can't be petty about who got more pizza than you did, or who drove more than you. You got to be a cool dude because it can be rough at times, but because of the pandemic, I'll take nothing for granted. I'll be excited. I'll be excited to clean the Wendy's commode off and use the bathroom. I take nothing for granted.
Wow.
Nice.
Now, do you guys, is everyone in the band part of the writing process when you guys are putting a new song together? Like, or does somebody focus more on the lyrics, or is that collective?
Marty does most of the lyrics. Oh, for the most part. As far as the music writing, it's a definite collective process, but
Nice.
It's different each time. Sometimes Marty showed up with a song completely written, basically. Sometimes it's just us standing in a room together, bashing stuff out. It's come in many different forms.
The ones that I write completely usually don't make the record. I need these guys. I need them bad, man.
Here's my B-side, another B-side.
Right on.
Wow, that's great though. But so when you guys go on tour, are you going to be touring? Do you have another band that you travel with, or are you guys going to be going solo on a lot of gigs? Or
we got a couple bands. A band called Co-op, which is Alice Cooper's son.
Oh,
They're
nice.
going to be opening some of the shows, and there's a band called Sunflower Dead from out of LA that's going to be on some of the shows. So usually we try to take a band with us. I don't know. I mean, this is the first time with the Lonely One, so yeah, we're taking a band with us. A couple bands this time, but I don't know how it's going to go in the future. But usually we try take a band with us and then have some of the really good locals play that way. It's the word spreads a little faster.
And you're still gonna, I'm assuming, still throw in some Boba Flex stuff too, right?
No, we're
no, huh?
Separate. Yeah, it's two separate things.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. The reason we did this in the first place is because without Sean, it didn't feel right to do Boba Flex.
Oh, okay.
So, carrying that on, we're definitely keeping them as two separate bands for sure.
Wow.
We're absolutely ready for being on stage and people yell, "Bury them with my guns on." We're just going to pretend like we didn't hear them.
Kick him in the face. Shut
Like
up.
was that from Step Brothers when they yell, "It's only '80s, Joel." That's it. That's all we play.
So, well,
Eventually, you'll look up, there'll be one tear running down my face after I've heard it the 100th time.
so are you going to be putting out any? I know you just put out what was it? Change the Station. That's the latest one?
That is correct.
Which is fantastic.
Good song.
I love what these guys are doing. Is there going to be more? So that the fans are familiar with more songs then when they come see you in the summer.
Absolutely.
Oh, God,
yeah. We just we signed to Imagine Records, which is Morgan Rose from Seven Dust is our main A&R guy. So one of the cool things about that is I get to talk to Morgan Rose twice a week. But we just got off the phone with them this morning, and they were talking about releasing singles at a rapid rate. People, as far as albums go anymore, it's not really an album world these days.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, try to remember the last thing you looked at on Facebook 15 minutes ago. You probably can't remember unless it was an excellent cat video.
Porn. It was porn.
So
I remember the porn.
We're going to rapid fire out singles like maybe every 3 weeks, so that
wow.
we give people time to digest the first one and then bam, hit them with the next one. So it's kind of I would say it's a slow release of an album, but a quick release of singles.
Right. Which is a smart idea because you want them to be somewhat familiar with a good amount. It doesn't have to be everything, but a good amount of the stuff that you're playing live. That helps the energy of the room to at least know some of it, right?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Plus, just as a new band, we're not Metallica. We can't take a year off in between putting out a song.
Sure.
We can't take 2 months off in between putting out a song at this point. Maybe someday we can breathe a little bit and think more creatively in that way. But for now, we gotta keep them coming.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on a cover that another cover that you guys want to do down the road that you feel would be in your wheelhouse there?
Well,
Brian May already told us that, so we're in. I'll die on that one.
Yeah, that's what I say. Once Brian, like when we were doing the Flash cover, we were like little giddy kids. Like, what if Brian May heard it? Wouldn't this be great? And then our publicist Sean O'Donnell got it to him, and he heard it, and he gave us the thumbs up. And we kind of felt like, well, we could take, I don't know if we need to do anything else. That was.
It is a great version. I mean, that I got to tell you, I listened to that thing like 5 times straight, back and forth.
Sure.
I'm like, this is great.
We met Brian May like not that long ago. What, like last year or something?
Two years ago. 2 years ago, yeah.
And he's so tall. Like you have no idea how tall he is. He's kind of, and he's got like still has kind of
the curly hair.
It's like this big dandelion coming at you. Like he's so tall. It's crazy. Like how
which is how every rock and roll legend wants to be described as a big dandelion.
No, he's so sweet and nice. But what is he, like 6'7" or something?
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Is he that big? Really?
We were completely going like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then he said to us, "Have you heard the Lonely Ones version of Flash?"
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, that must have been a big thrill to hear that he dug it, huh?
It's
God.
I still wake up in the mornings like, well, if everything turns to crap right now, then Brian may like
Sure.
a version of Flash. So it's not all bad.
What as far as shows you've performed, I know you guys haven't done a lot of touring as Lonely Ones yet, but what's your favorite venue that you've played?
I guess we would have different answers, eh, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could pick a favorite, but if I was just to list some of my favorites, Newport in Columbus, Ohio has been a great time. The Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan is like a world famous rock club that's so great that bands that would normally play arenas will scale down just to go play there.
Yeah.
In Flint, Michigan. Yeah. Somehow
Flint, Michigan.
it's like if they have had this success run the successful rock club in Flint, Michigan, which is one of the most dangerous towns in the United States.
Yeah, they've been through a lot over there.
Drink bottled water only.
Yes,
there.
yes.
It's crazy.
Madison, Wisconsin is huge for rock. There's so many great places to play across the country. We made a lot of friends with promoters and club owners. It would be hard to put my finger on it, but I could pick cities. I would say Columbus, Ohio, Huntington, West Virginia, Madison, Wisconsin, Dubuque, Iowa, Spokane.
The thing is, wherever the people show up, people show up, I'm happy to play at. It could be an empty field, and it'll be my favorite venue if there's 100,000 people there.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
I noticed that nobody said New York. Did you hear that? Nobody said New York. We'll have to fix
Man, it's tough to get a bus around there. That's the worst.
When we play the city, when we come into the city, Syracuse, New York is a wonderful place. We do quite a lot of shows there. But when we come into the city with a bus, we start to stress out 2 days beforehand, and until you leave the city and see the city behind you is it when you can finally breathe, when you're pulling a bus and a trailer. And we drive.
Yeah.
We drive that ourselves, so it's like
so it's a little nerve wracking.
There's a little West Virginia, New York bias. You see that? It was like,
Come on, you guys are the lonely one. You can handle New York City. Well, we're on Long Island, so we
they can handle it. The bus has problems.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, we're on Long Island, so yeah.
We came to Long Island during a snowstorm 2 years ago, and the venue was literally 3 miles away, and it took us 3 hours to get there. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sorry. Yeah, they're not coming back.
Parkway there under a tunnel one time. Remember that, Marty?
What is it?
We got stuck in that tunnel on the Parkway.
Oh, yeah, you can't go on parkways with a bus here.
No, you cannot.
Yeah.
I think they know that now.
That's the thing about New York. Like on Long Island, even the expressways, anywhere else, I'll be like, oh, you should slow down to 30 miles an hour. And you just don't have to take it seriously. But when you're about to do it on Long Island, like if you don't do exactly what they say on the sign, you're going to tip over. Like they don't mess around. Like don't go on the parkway means you're going to take off the top of your truck. Like go 20 miles an hour. If you go like 21, you're going to tip over.
We got stuck. So I woke up at 5. I told our bus driver at the time, said, do not go on the parkway. And then at 5 a.m, I just feel the bus go, come to a flying halt.
Yep.
And we were this far away from touching the top. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Cars were jamming by us. And a police officer came and he just went, go slow, try it. So we did.
Yeah. Did it work?
Oh, it did? You made it?
You're so lucky.
He's like, let the air out of your tires.
Yeah.
We'll make it. You'll drag you through. Wow.
His advisor, he gave us a fine and said, don't do that again. It's like, cool, off we went.
Every 6 months we see someone like take off the top of their truck on the parkway.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally.
There's a YouTube channel dedicated to it. There's a truck. Wham!
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
What venue did you play on Long Island?
That was that Revolution?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Which I think it's gone now, right?
Which is now gone.
Yeah, due to the
That's what I heard.
No way.
Yeah.
It's common, which is common through COVID.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Many venues closed.
Where is that, in Massapequa?
Amityville,
yeah.
on the corner of
yeah, it was
Eric
actually
and
down
Whitehead.
the road from where we live.
Great place.
It was a great place.
It's been so many different names too.
Well, yeah, we're hoping to get places like that, and even with us in the comedy world, we lost a few places in the city, so we're and I'm sure countrywide, I'm sure a lot of places have shut down, so we're hoping to get some life back and look forward to getting out there. What good? You have any good stories on the road? Like you mentioned, it's cool to talk to the guys from Seven Dust and get the accolades from Brian May, but what's going on the road? You open for cool people or anybody? Any big rock stars give you any good advice or anything?
Oh yeah, I've met Kid Rock. We've toured with Dave Mustaine from Megadeth.
Nice.
I mean, I've met. One day we're playing, and I look over and Corey Taylor's watching our show.
Yep.
Jimmy clued me into that. One night we were in Nashville, and I told my brother halfway through the set, I was like, I said, I got to talk to you after the show. Just be cool. I talk to you right after the show. And this was halfway through the set, and he was like, after the show, he goes, "What's going on? What's going on?" I was like, "Well, Lizzie Hale's in the crowd watching us." He said, "Why didn't you tell me?" I go, "Because you just stood in front of me the whole time." So, I mean, stuff like that is super cool.
Yeah,
when you
it's
see your
really
heroes,
cool.
like rocking out to your band. It's like, oh, call my mom. I think I was right
People
about
like
this.
Oh.
Jimmy, what do you got? You got any cool rock star
Yeah, I
stories?
thought
Jimmy's always in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I met Slash one time, like totally on accident. That was cool. He's a big hero of mine.
Yeah, sure.
We were playing in Orlando. Is that right, Marty?
Yeah, WJR.
Yeah, that's it. And we had played early, obviously Slash goes on late 'cause he's Slash. And we're standing there. I'm just drinking a beer, and Tommy, I hear a bus pull up kind of behind us. They let the air out. And Tommy, who's always like cool as a cucumber, never loses it at all, unlike me, he goes, "Hell, look, there's Slash." And I froze up, my shoulders tensed up because he's my hero.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, and he walks by, and I didn't realize how short he was, for one. He's like way shorter than you expect him to be because he's up on stage like a rock god.
Yeah, right.
And
Jimmy's 6'3", by the way.
Everybody's kind of short too. That's not really. And he kind of like redirects over slightly towards me and goes, "Hey man, how you doing?" I went, "Hey."
Hey, good.
One time we're at a festival, and this guy comes up to Jimmy. I just walk off because Jimmy's always in the right place at the right time. It's super annoying. I walk off and come back, and Jimmy's like, "This dude got up in my face and was singing our lyrics in my face and was screaming and like, 'I love your band, and my sister thinks you guys are, I annoyed my sister with your record,' and he's singing these lyrics, 'You think you're better than me,' in Jimmy's face." And Jimmy's like, "I don't know who that dude was." And then later that night, he gets up on stage and said, drummer for Hailstorm.
Oh, wow.
Lyrics in Jimmy's face.
I had no idea who he was.
Can I tell them my
No
Eddie
way.
Van Halen story?
No.
No.
I can't bear to hear it another time.
Well, I'm going to tell them anyway.
All right.
no.
So
we
that
go.
happened to me once. I was at went to see Van Halen in '95 at Jones Beach here in New York, and
Been there.
oh, you've been there? Yeah, great place. I love.
Yeah.
I was at that show.
Yeah. So there was this band. I got backstage passes through the opening act. That's a whole other story. But I'm backstage, and when you have backstage passes at Jones Beach, they have these seats that you go up some stairs. They're on the stage, and you go up these stairs on the side of the stage, and you sit up elevated, and you watch the show from the side. You look down. So Sammy Hagar's doing his acoustic number, and I'm a huge Van Halen guy, so I've seen the acoustic number a bunch of times. I'm like, all right, this is my pee break. So I go down the steps, and I get to the bottom of the stairs, and to my left is Eddie Van Halen. He's right there.
No way.
And there's another guy sitting on a bench. And I swear to God, I don't see anybody else. So it's me, Eddie Van Halen, and this old guy on a bench. I'm like, what the? And I'm 25 years old, so I'm an idiot. And I just go up, and I'm this close to Eddie. And I just go up and I'm like, "Can I have your autograph?" Like an idiot. He looks at me and he goes, like he's shocked that I'm even there. And he goes, "You got to get the fuck out of here." So now I start cracking up. And I said it out loud. I'm like a cartoon. I go, "Hey, Eddie Van Halen just cursed at me." and I take off. Now the show at the end, the show's over, but they come out for an encore. And they start playing Mississippi Queen. You know, the old Mississippi Queen, you guys, right? You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. So,
100%.
and as they're playing it, as they start the intro, Sammy Hagar says, "We have a special guest. We have Leslie West of Mountain. He's going to play Mississippi Queen with us."
The guy on the
that was
bench?
the old man sitting on the bench.
Great.
So I had no idea. The two rock gods, two guitar gods, sitting there with
You
me. I was
asked for an autograph?
I was 25 and just completely starstruck. And I
I
blew
would
it.
have done the same thing.
Yeah, you would have done the same thing. You would have said, "But I'm Jimmy from the Lonely Ones."
I'm some guy you don't know who he is.
we were at a festival in Wisconsin, and it was backstage. We had just played, and I had to use the bathroom so bad. Are we allowed to
He was going to say, "I had to take a dump."
Yeah. And so I'm standing there waiting in line. I'm like, who is in there? Who is in there? And they're in there forever. And walks out face to face. It's Corey Taylor from Slipknot. And I go, And I said, "It's you." And he said, "Yep." And then he just walked off. And I was like, "That was my meeting. That's the time I met Corey Taylor." I was like, oh, "Okay, well, it's pretty."
Hey, Corey, light a match. Is it too much to ask? Light a
And then
match.
as you're in there, you're like, I'm sitting on the same toilet. My butt touched.
This is Corey Taylor's stench in the bathroom.
I know. Our peepees are mixing.
Wow.
It was magical. One of my magical highlights in my life.
Finally, the collaboration nobody wanted.
That's great.
Wow.
All right, there we go. All right, well, Marty, Jimmy, we want to thank you guys so much for your time. You guys are a lot of fun. And we really dig the music, man. We're into it, and we look forward to more. And
tell everybody where they can find you.
yes, please.
That's Jimmy.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone started ringing. I had to mute it.
Oh, no sweat.
Tell everyone where they can find us.
We got Facebook, we got Instagram, we got Twitter, we got TikTok. We're all running that ourselves. If you're talking to the account, you're talking to one of the four of us.
Nice.
We got a YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. We just put up tour dates just yesterday.
Right.
Go to The Lonely Ones on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. We got the tour dates, big, wide. You got to see them. Might be coming right by you.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
We'll be looking for those New York dates.
Yeah.
He'll go back to
on those right now.
Syracuse.
Right. Yeah, we're not talking Syracuse.
Maybe in the warm weather. The snow is not friendly to them.
And
We'll come through New York on a series of little bikes. 'Cause we can't get
Yeah. Little Mini Coopers.
Nice.
and when you're coming through New York, we're going to drag your asses in here and have some fun with the whole band. That'll be great.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Look forward to it.
Excellent. So the Lonely Ones, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. A lot of fun. We look forward to checking out some more of your music as it's coming out.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having
thank
me.
you. Thank you so much.
Anytime,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Good luck, guys.
Talk
Thanks.
to you again. Thanks again.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
You too now.
Thank you.
All right, there we go. Cool. That was the Lonely Ones there.